Hi, this is Paul Kinkowski with the Systems Conference. I'm here with Sarah Hatch from Hatch Property Management out in Virginia. And she is what we call a property manager who loves maintenance. So she's going to be at the event talking about ways, why does she love maintenance? I mean, I remember a picture of Sarah knee deep in water as she was trying to drain some stuck up sewage swamp thing in some backyard of one of her clients. So she goes above and beyond for maintenance, and she feels that it really helps her business grow and be better because of what she does in maintenance. So welcome, Sarah. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you, Paul?
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about that, water, the Facebook picture I was just telling you about? What was that? Because I probably didn't describe it the best, but all I know is you were knee deep in water out in someone's backyard.
Yeah, waist deep. So that was a property, 5-acre property. It has a pond on it with a water feature, and the water feature has a pump in the center at the low spot, obviously, in order to cycle so that it doesn't get a lot of algae buildup. And it was clogged. It was the fall, and it was clogged with leaves. So I was just going in and cleaning off the actual pond pump and making sure that it functions like it should.
Is that a normal thing owners do of companies?
No. I enjoy it though. That's the thing. I enjoy the crazy. I enjoy the rare opportunities that I have to get involved and do stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. So now you can hear a little bit. She enjoys things that most would be we're gonna send someone out there, spend a couple $100. Did you at least charge?
Let me put my shoes on and let me do it myself.
My question: did you at least charge the owner for that, or was that free?
No. It depends. It depends. No, sometimes I do.
In that situation,
that one particularly? No, I didn't.
Okay, there's some people out there going, "Oh my gosh, that was a fee opportunity."
I know.
Renewal muck. So I think I already said this, but your property management company is located in Virginia. How many properties are you currently managing?
We have about 240 right now.
240 properties. Mm-hmm. How much staff do you have for 240 properties?
So our staffing is a little bit unique in that we have licensed agents that work for us. So I include them in my count too, because they help us, place tenants in properties and everything very fast. Altogether, we have 16 people.
16 people.
Part-time, full-time, the whole mix.
16 people. And of those 16 people, how many are licensed agents?
We have 7.
7 licensed agents. So they place people, but they also sell houses for you, do lots of unique things for you, but they're not doing accounting, they're not doing maintenance, they're not doing any of that stuff, those licensed agents, or some of them doing that too?
So all of my property managers have to be licensed agents. Okay. So they are licensed agents in order for them to list properties and to have the opportunity to sell them when the time comes. And so out of our agents, we have some that are part-time agents that really don't want to do anything other than placing rentals. But then we have, full-time agents where they make 6 figures or more just on rentals.
Yeah, those seven licensed agents, one might have 20 doors, one might have 80 doors, so they have doors that are assigned to them?
Yeah. Actually, it averages about 80 doors
80?
each. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's 7 of them and 230. I don't know how we get that math.
No, 3 property managers.
Oh, you said 7 licensed agents, so that's why I was doing the math.
7 licensed agents. I require all my property managers to be licensed agents, but I don't require all my licensed agents to be property managers.
Okay, so you have 3 property managers. The other 4 licensed agents, what do they do?
They help with training. So I have an associate broker. I have another agent. She does Florida and she does Virginia and DC. And then I have one that does DC. She's getting her Virginia license. Anyways, they just show rentals and do their sales. Mm-hmm.
Great. So they're doing their sales. So really you have about 12 people that are in the property management field for that are show properties but are more sales agents. And then how many remote employees do you have?
Right now I have, goodness gracious, it's been a while since I've done my count. I have 3 in the Philippines. Yeah. I have 2 in Central America. I have 1 in Phoenix. I have 1 in Florida. I have one in Pennsylvania, and I have one in Northern Maryland.
Wow. So you have remotes in the US and remotes all over.
Yeah.
And I remember last year at the Systems Conference, it was really fun. One of your remote employees won.
Yeah.
Well, she got second, but then the winner gave her the prize money at the dice game. I remember that was very exciting. It was the first time in the United States, correct?
Yes, that was our Jenny. Yes. Yes, that was our Jenny. She's our first remote team member outside of the US.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was a really fun experience to watch. It was just, that was, I mean, and you had quite a bit of your staff there last year. You've been coming, how many times have you been to the Systems Conference?
So my staff have been going for the last year was our third year in a row for parts of our team to go. We had 5 people there from Hatch. And this year we're going to have the same. There's going to be 5 of us there again. So.
Awesome. And you found it's very beneficial for your staff, for you, for everything that goes on with your company.
Yeah, so we divided and conquered. There's a lot of topics that get spoken about at the Systems Conference, and I didn't want to miss anything. So we divided and made sure that we got every content that was available. I think it's important for teams to bring their staff members, because you don't want to miss. You don't want to be in the same room together educating on one topic when there are like 3 other topics that are being talked about that could benefit your company. So,
and the other thing is that before you went to the Systems Conference, you did some staff bonding before, right? It was before, and you guys went on the strip and showed them, and because a lot of your staff, that was their first time in Vegas, and you guys. You did that before the conference. Then the conference, you guys really focused on, hey, we're going to get the job done.
Exactly. Thanks, Paul, for bringing that up. That's one of our team building exercises that we do. The weekend before the conference, there's a lot of content. We want everybody to be focused and not thinking about, oh my gosh, what am I missing out on the strip? I've never been to Vegas before. So do that the weekend before. So if anybody out there who is considering doing this, don't do it the week after. Don't do it the weekend after. Do it the weekend before. Get it all out of your system. And so we went to Tiesto. We went to the Sphere. We went to... we just, had a really good time going out to different clubs and, the nightlife of Vegas. And we but we got one of the luxury suites at the Cosmopolitan, and I just showed them a really good time. So, yeah.
And then you could go out 30 minutes off the strip, go to the Suncoast, still have a good time doing things with property managers, but not be we need to see the strip, because your staff had seen it, they'd done it, and they were now ready to focus on networking and getting results done.
Everybody was focused after that. So, and we had a day in between. We did build in a day in between to recuperate for those who like to party. It
starts Monday night, so a perfect thing would be go Friday, Saturday night, and then you have Monday, rest Monday, get caught up on your emails, get caught up on what you need to work-wise, and then Monday night is when it starts this year. The conference itself starts Tuesday, but Monday night we're doing a thing with 12 rooms, with 12 different drinks, one alcoholic, and 12 different games. So there's going to be a lot of different games from one room might have a blackjack where you can win prizes on blackjack. Another room's going to have a comedian. One room might have a magician. All different things. And you'll go room to room and getting a card stamped. To start off by meeting our wonderful vendors and other property managers before it actually starts on Tuesday.
Wow, that's awesome. That sounds awesome.
So that should be fun. So we are having you in the property meld room this year, and you are going to be our maintenance queen, we should say, because you love maintenance, and most property managers, it's like the black eye. They just don't like maintenance. And so you're going to be talking about why you love maintenance. You're going to be talking about what makes you like maintenance. So the first topic you're going to be doing is why you don't have an in-house maintenance company, but when you're hiring for maintenance, how much do they truly know about maintenance? Do they have the right communication skills to deal with tenants and owners? And do they know how to troubleshoot? Because you feel that a lot of times people don't like maintenance because they have the wrong people working for them. Is that correct? Is that what you were? Because that's the reason.
Yes, I think that a lot of people get scared about what they don't know. So the more educated you can be on those things, whether it's, appliance repairs, whether it's plumbing or electrical repairs, being fully educated so that you can communicate better with the tenants and the owners on whether or not it is a valid repair, right? Like, do we really need this? A lot of homeowners and investors, they try to be, a little bit on the cheaper side. And they're like, Sarah, do I really need this? Do I really need to go this route and like do this expensive repair? And you have to be confident in knowing and telling them, yes, you do need this repair. You need to spend this money right now. And I know why, because I've seen it happen time and time again, where if you let this go right now, it's only going to cause you trouble down the road.
Yeah,
you're going to be paying more in the end with Band-Aiding.
The biggest reasons I fired owners was because they wanted to fix 25-year-old air conditioners, and I'm like, it doesn't barely even work for the tenants. Your tenants are going to move out. It's going to cost you more in the long run because you're going to have more vacancies. Tenants aren't going to stay as long. And some of these owners didn't listen to me in my early days, and they had tenants that left every year, and they wondered why they couldn't keep a tenant for 5 or 6 years. If your property is crap, then people don't like to stay as long.
Right. Exactly. I mean, it'll make or break you. I mean, we have also gotten 1-star reviews because of our maintenance, right? Whether it was us coordinating it or failing to coordinate it, or whether it was the actual contractor, but you live and breathe by your maintenance, honestly.
Yeah, no, I get 1-star reviews from those owners back in the day. That's why I started firing them, because tenants were like, we have no air conditioning. They don't know that I'm pushing as hard as I can, but it's 105 out. They don't have air conditioning. In Virginia, you have a lot of high humidity. I mean, it's miserable. You can't sleep when in the middle of, is it August? That's the hottest time in Virginia, or right around then?
It's actually July.
July, okay.
It's July. Yeah. We have a little bit of a heat wave this week, but aside from that, it's usually July. That's the hottest.
Yeah, and then the rest of the year, it's they can live and it can take a day or two, but in July, I'm sure if it's not fixed within a day or two, they're not happy.
Exactly. Yep.
All right, your second topic is going to be the more you communicate with clients on maintenance, the better it is for both tenants and owners. So a lot of people think less communication is better. You've said that. I never think less communication is better. As an owner, the more property management companies tell me what's going on and actually know what they're talking about when they tell me. It's different if they communicate with me before the problem, they even know what the problem is. Like, I don't want a communication like when the tenant says, hey, my sink's leaking. As an owner, I don't want a communication on that. But I want communication when we know what the problem is or what happened or how we resolved it. A lot of times owners, and you're going to talk more on this, don't know about repairs until they get their bill at the end of the month. Because, hey, it was under $400. We didn't have to tell you. So we spent $350. That's majority of companies do it. I see a little look on your face of surprise.
Yeah, we don't do it that way.
What is it going to be about?
So really, as far as communication goes, an owner wants to be put on alert that a ticket has come in. At least my owners do, right? They want to know the moment that it comes in, because a lot of times, especially when we're within our first 60 to 90 days of managing that specific property, we don't know all the quirks about their house, right? They may have an easy solution. I would rather let the owner know what ticket just came in and have them shoot me back, oh, hey, by the way, that was under warranty. Here's the company that did it last, call them first. I would rather go that route than to have the owner pay again for that if it was under warranty. I mean, so letting them know, if they need us to have, direction, then they give us direction at that point. And I'm okay with accepting that. As far as, using our contractors and dispatching, the owners know when we've dispatched, they know when the job is complete. We send them pictures, we send them the invoice, regardless of whether it's above or below our maintenance limit. We feel like that communication needs to be there.
And that being said, you have a lot of employees for 230 doors. You have a lot of people working. You have a lot of people working on your company. But you are a profitable company, correct?
Yes.
And you're profitable. So. Why? Why are you profitable?
So our rents are higher than average, right? So a company that has 600 doors could potentially net the same as far as their revenue as I would at 240.
But also one of the other things,
our rents are average rent is about $3,200 to $3,300 a month.
Yeah, me and you are in similar markets, and I get that our rents are high, and I was on a set price. But then the other reasons is what me and you both do is we capture sales. You capture sales because you have communication with owners. That is a huge part of your profitability, correct?
It is. It definitely is. So on an annual basis, I would say our total annual management fee line item, just the management fee, not the leasing fee or other fees, it is actually equal with what our gross revenue is for sales.
Yeah, and mine was more. My sales was more than my management fees for the year, because in your market where those rents are that high, that means your average house, what, 600,000-700,000?
Yeah, it's between 6 and 8. Mm-hmm.
6 and 8. So let's just say a 2% commission, which that's $12,000, and a lot of people are either they're going with they're selling it with their buddy, they're selling it with someone else because they don't have that relationship. So you're saying maintenance helps you create that relationships, helps you get that, so that it helps with everything. It helps with
trust.
You build trust, and they want to just sell with you.
Yeah. So we have a program, also talking about maintenance and what we do differently. Like, people ask us all the time, well, why are you different than other companies? We have a licensed home inspector to inspect all of our properties every single year. And so that allows us to have some of that insight, and we create more revenue for our company with that as well, because we have project management fees. So if you have a big project that came from the home inspection, then that we can, get you multiple bids, and we can help you finish this project for you while the tenant is in place, and you get to write it off. But we do charge fees for that. So. And
who pays for the licensed professional to come out?
The owner. We have an annual fee that more than pays for, but yeah.
Right. And these are things that in these different ones with communication, you'll be talking about how they can maximize it without having a maintenance company. Because you could have a maintenance company also maximize revenue with all these things and have that licensed person do that. But a lot of people think you could only maximize revenue on maintenance if you have a maintenance company. You can maximize revenue, not have a maintenance company, but have people that are working for you that are almost like employees, because you have expectations of them. They put you at a high priority because you have turned in 30 doors versus someone who's calling with 1 door.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So, and that's how that's how my company is very similar to yours. We did not have maintenance, but my expectation was when one of my air conditioners broke and it was 110, that my AC guy would get out to my properties that day.
Yes.
And if he did, I needed to start looking for a new AC guy that wanted to manage to be in charge of 300 doors. And we had backup AC guys, and I'd be like, look, if this guy doesn't respond and you respond on 110 day, you're now going to take the number 1 spot. And I would tell them, we rank you 1, 2, 3, because you have to have backups. And if they, depending on their customer service, depending on their interaction with tenants, or interaction, if we had owners, would change your ranking. I mean, do you do something like that too? Similar to that?
So we have a DTM list. It's a dead to me list. Oh, we're not using you anymore. They're dead to us. 3 strikes and you're on the DTM list.
Okay, we had we would in AppFolio under the vendor's name, it would say the vendor's name, we'd keep them in there, and it'd say do not use. Once you got to the point where we didn't want to use you, or there was times, I'm sure, with vendors, they charge something that's a ridiculous charge. Have you eaten the cost yourself because you don't agree with it? And then, basically they're dead to you then, and the owner's happy, and you let the owner know that you ate the cost. I always did when I did that.
Yeah, absolutely. We do eat the cost of especially if we've went ahead and made an estimate and then it turned up to be more, not because of an unknown thing, but because it truly went over budget. I don't want the owner to, anyways, we work it out.
Yeah, that's all I would. If I had a dead to me vendor who I felt did a really bad job, and I would usually a lot of times go after that vendor for that cost, but it's just, it's that relationship. So you're saying, because you have good maintenance, your people stay. Your churn rate's probably very low.
With our vendors or our employees?
With your houses that you manage, besides when they sell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have owners who move back into their houses. So that's our market. Like this past year, we had at least, I think, 14 or 15 so far of owners who moved back into their homes. So, and then in another year or two, they're going to move back out.
And then they'll rent with you again. And so, is that because there's a lot of military in Virginia, or a lot of people with the government that come work for a couple of years, then they get transferred to somewhere else?
Yep. Military, State Department. Those are the majority of our clientele. So
that's great.
Yeah. Anytime they have PCS back, they just move back into their houses. So.
What would you say is the best system that you have right now in your company that you're loving? Like mine was my renewal process. What is the process that you're like, oh, I'm loving this process right now in my company?
It's actually what I talked about at the systems conference last year, which was my potential owner flow. It just goes seamless. And it works perfectly with how I built my company, where the licensed agents are my PMs, right? Like everyone has the opportunity to have that first interview with an owner. And so just a month or so ago, we had an interview with a potential owner, and he's like, I'm kind of on the fence of whether or not I want to sell or, rent. Let me know what you think. Well, now they've built that trust and that one-on-one contact. It's a video call for the first meeting. And then we now have his property under contract. We decided to sell it, or he decided to sell his property with us, and he just called us because he wanted a property manager, or he thought that's the way he wanted to go. He had no idea that we could necessarily help with both, and we successfully got him under contract in one weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that's wonderful. The whole sales aspect, everything you do with that. What process are you working on the most? Like, which is the one right now that you're like, this is the one when I go to the systems conference that we need to work on?
It's one that you guys probably don't have, that we absolutely have been working on, especially recently. See, the owner moving back in process. So you guys, it has to be handled completely different than an ending management. So if an owner's moving back into their house, you have to right there start with managing their expectations about normal wear and tear, about setting their utilities back up, because these people are very, detailed people, but for some reason, a couple of them this summer forgot to switch over their utilities. And I'm like, do you not think of that? So we're working on that. So if it might benefit somebody, or I'm willing to, I want to listen to other people at the systems conference if they're willing to share, if they have a similar flow, a similar process that they're working on, because we right now have, I would say, a skeleton of it right now. It's not perfect. So it's not
the managing their expectations, that's the hardest one. So they have had their property rented for 5 years. They had it painted right before they left, and they come back and they're like, the walls are ruined. They destroyed my house. And I'm like, normal wear and tear. I cannot charge them after 5 years for paint. Like, this is normal wear and tear. And so it's like, a lot of it was like trying to get it like, hey, there's normal wear and tear. Your walls are in great condition. Would you like us to get a vendor set up so that you can have your house painted before you move back in when it's vacant? And doing stuff like that. They're like, and then they come in and they have fresh paint on the walls, and my vendor, scheduled them to get it. It's things like that they don't realize. If I live in a house for 6-7 years, I might not have handprints all over the walls, but a tenant can, and we can't charge them. Right. We can't charge them a penny for paint after 3 years. And it's just, unless they put a fist through the wall, then you can charge for damage, but not for paint.
Exactly. That's actually one of the tutorial videos or educational videos that I've been putting together, is about what is normal wear and tear. Like some examples of normal wear and tear, and what are some examples of outright damage that we found at properties. When tenants try to do stuff themselves, like repairing a wall, we actually have, in the state of Maryland, where it's written in specifically, where they are not to attempt any repairs on drywall themselves.
And I don't want them to patch up the holes. Because when they patch up the holes, all of a sudden we have white spots all over the wall, and we have to repaint it even when we're planning on it. So I'm like, don't touch the property. If you have 2 nail holes in a wall, that's totally legit. If you put 50 nail holes, we're gonna repaint that wall and fix it. But it'd be because you can't have 50 nail holes. You can't do 50 photos on one wall and expect that we have holes on 50 holes. But 2, you're not gonna get charged. So it's it's expectations, owners, tenants, all of that. That'll be a great video. So that is really cool. You had some really cool things going. As you know, we had you speak last year. You are, people really enjoyed when you were there last year, and you're now part of the Systems Conference Advisory Committee. So, which is really cool. You're helping pick some new rooms. Like we have this year we have the Genius Bar Room, which is going to be brand new, where people are going to be able to go, and we're going to have technology companies where you can get 30-minute blocks one-on-one with different technology companies that are there and work on it. That is a new thing. Right, you've been helping us pick the vendor story room. What that is different than a normal vendor room. They're not going to be selling. They're going to be telling you like different things they do in their company. Like Second Nature is doing a talk on company culture and how they do company culture. Nothing about Second Nature, nothing about air filters, just about their company. Because I think we can learn. Business is business, and some of our vendors are doing amazing things in their business, and we can learn from them.
Right.
So,
Exactly. I'm excited.
It's gonna be an exciting event. If you have not bought tickets yet, buy tickets. Sarah's gonna be speaking. You're gonna want to go there. If you don't have any maintenance issues, there's lots of other rooms with lots of other problems. If maintenance is your strong suit, But if you are having maintenance concerns and you're feeling and you're I'd say if you're under 400 door company, if you're a 2,000 door company and you have in-house maintenance, might not be the best fit, but we have other things that are going to be amazing for you at this conference, other areas that will be good fits for you. But, for those smaller companies who are doing maintenance, Sarah will be able to give you some great tips to help you.
Good. Absolutely. Okay. I'm excited.
Have a wonderful day, everybody.